All right, let's crack open the latest results from Anheuser-Busch InBev. We're talking about the company behind Budweiser, Corona, Stella Artois, basically the biggest name in beer on the planet. And today, we're going to see if their performance really lived up to the hype.
So, you've probably seen the headlines, but what's the real story behind their 2025 performance? Let's get past the clickbait and really dig into the numbers. We're going to break down their wins, their losses, and what they're planning to do next.
And right out of the gate, it's a win for them. They beat Wall Street's expectations on earnings per share, which is always a great start. But you know, that one number doesn't tell the whole story. The how, that's where things get really interesting. Okay, so let's dive into the good stuff first. It turns out AB InBev found some serious growth in some very strategic and maybe even a few surprising new places. So get this, it's kind of like a riddle. Their profits are up by almost 5%, but they actually sold less beer overall. How does that even work? Well, the answer lies in what people are drinking when they're not reaching for a classic beer. First up, their Beyond Beer portfolio. We're talking about ready-to-drink cocktails, hard seltzers, that kind of thing. Revenue here jumped by a massive 23%. This isn't just some small trend, it's a huge shift in what people want, and AB InBev is definitely cashing in. And if you thought that was big, check this out. Non-alcoholic beer grew by a staggering 34%. 34%! This is not some tiny niche market anymore, folks. It is a serious, serious growth engine, tapping into that whole global trend of mindful consumption. And you can really see this momentum in the US market, which is, absolutely critical for them. They gained market share, and some of their brands are just on fire. Michelob Ultra and Busch Light, these were the top two share gainers in the entire industry. Their spirits brand, Cutwater, triple-digit growth. Crazy. Oh, and if you caught the Super Bowl, you definitely saw them. They had 3 of the top 10 ads. So what's the secret sauce here? Well, according to their CEO, Michel Doukeris, it all comes down to one thing: consistency. He basically said the US is a long game and that their strategy of just staying the course is really, really starting to pay off. But, that amazing US performance doesn't paint the full picture. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows globally. To really get what's going on, we got to look at the headwinds they faced and the parts of the business that had a tougher time. So remember how I said they sold less beer overall? Well, the company itself admitted it was below potential. And yeah, most places did okay, but one major market really dragged the numbers down. And that struggling market was China. Look at this. The difference between the US and China is just stark. While the US was on a roll, gaining share, building momentum, China saw revenue decline in the low teens and actually did worse than the rest of the industry there. So what on earth went wrong? Well, it really comes down to a huge shift in consumer behavior. The whole bar and restaurant scene, it's just not what it used to be. People are drinking more at home now. And think about it, if your whole system is built to ship giant kegs to bars and suddenly everyone wants 6-packs from the corner store, you've got a massive logistics problem. You have to completely retool your supply chain, and that's exactly what they had to do. Okay, so with all that in mind, the wins and the challenges, what's the game plan moving forward? Well, it looks like they've got this really powerful 2-part strategy to kick things into high gear. Part 1 is all about technology. Say hello to Bees. It's a business-to-business platform, which sounds complicated, but it's not. The easiest way to get your head around it is to just think of it as an Amazon, but specifically for bar and store owners. It's a one-stop shop for everything they need, not just beer. And let me tell you, this thing is exploding. The total value of everything sold through Bees, they call that GMV, grew by 61%. That brought it to $3.5 billion. This is not some little side hustle, people. This is a massive, high-growth tech business hiding inside a beer company. And for the business owner, it's just dead simple. You open the app, you order everything you need from all different suppliers, all in one place, and boom, you get one streamlined delivery. It just solves a huge headache for them and makes AB InBev a partner they can't live without. All right, so that's part 1. Part 2 of the strategy is all about doubling down on what they're famous for, building up those powerhouse mega brands that people absolutely love and are willing to pay a little extra for. And Corona is the poster child for this strategy.
It was ranked as the most valuable beer brand in the world. Its sales volumes have literally doubled since 2018. And get this, it sells for a 20% premium over its closest competitor. It's this premium strategy, led by brands just like Corona, that's driven a 10% annual growth rate for all of their mega brands.
Okay, so they've got their two-part plan, tech and premium brands. So what does all this mean for the year ahead? Let's take a look at their official game plan for 2026. So management is basically sticking to their guns here. They're telling investors to expect EBITDA growth, which is just a key way to measure profitability, to be somewhere between 4 and 8%. And they're not afraid to spend money to make money, planning to invest nearly $4 billion back into the business to keep things humming. And a huge piece of that plan is tied to these massive global events. I mean, with the FIFA World Cup coming to North America, they see this gigantic opportunity to connect beer and sports and, as they put it, create unforgettable moments for fans around the world. And all of this really leaves us with one big question, right? AB InBev is clearly a company that's changing. They're jumping on new consumer tastes with these beyond beer drinks, and they're building this incredible tech platform with bees. So the question is this beverage giant actually brewing the future of the industry, or is it just running as fast as it can to keep up?